My name's Jake, and I found a bunch of pornographic magazines inside a dead man's house. Not just any old magazines, Australian softcore pornography from the early 90s. Now, me and my little mate Pete want to invite you to have a look at some pretty rude stuff with us. So hold on to your stiffies, everyone, and welcome to Smut Club 1990. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Smut Club 1990, the only podcast where we peruse softcore Australiana pornography from the early 90s. My name's Jake Smith, and I'm in the shed out the back of Mum and Dad's house, and they've well and truly fucked off for the afternoon down to the RSL to slap the pokies around, so I've invited my little mate over from a few grades below, and guess what? It's his fucking birthday today. How are you, Petey boy? Happy birthday.
Sup, cunt. Yeah, it's my birthday, mate. Look at my big muscles. Down to Freddo cake. Got a race car bed. Fuck, I'm feeling good, man. Life's good. I love... You've never really dived into the backstory of Mum and Dad so much. That's top of the podcast.
Why
Slapping the pokies. This life is slowly going down for our imaginary Mum and Dad.
Yeah. I like how it's going to be soon will just be, I'm out the back of Dad's house. Like, that'll be it. No, there's all of a sudden the mum character's not mentioned anymore.
Yeah. Jack's recording solo this week because Mum is down with Mum in New South Wales. But look, mate, it's not just us here in the shed. It's my birthday. I had to plan a party, mate. I got friends coming over.
Who have you
got?
No
one's here yet, but this weird kid down the end of the street turned up, so I guess we'll just hang out with him for a while. Sam Bowden, how are you, baby?
Hey, it's lovely to be finally up the fancy end of the street. I'm normally just down the back of the shed. If it was my parents, we'd be recording this podcast in the car outside the RSL. Welcome back to the first episode of Windows Are Still Up and I'm Dying.
1983.
Fucking hell.
No, it's good to have you here, Sammy, in the shed. Usually just see you at the end of the street flicking the razor scooter into your own ankles trying to feel something, but...
Hey, man, it's cool, all right? It's fucking cool. I got ankles of steel. I'm there sucking on a Calippo. Trying to convince people to come look at my weird pet rat.
Oh, fuck. Fuck, the rat kids were the worst.
Oh, rat kids were the worst, man.
And it stinks. Just fucking yuck, bro.
Dude, same with guinea pigs. Like, I understand, like, guinea pigs are a really easy present for, like, a primary school kid, but they're fucking gross. They stink the place up, and it's harder to keep them alive than it is to kill them. Like, we would when I was 9, we were taking care of a friend's guinea pigs down the road, and we had 2 dogs, right? And like a goose, we went home when they dropped them home, so the doors were locked, and they didn't convene, and like obviously only Mum had a mobile phone because it was 2001 or whatever. Sure. And then she just left them outside with the dogs. We come back, there's guinea pig all over the patio. There's only one guinea pig still alive that managed to hide under a chair, but it's dying of shock. And so we're holding it. I'm holding it in a tea towel when we get home from school, and it's sort of like twitching, and then I realized I could sort of turn it into a marionette puppet if I jiggled it, and I just started doing like, hello my baby, hello my honey, hello my ragtime gal. And then the girl, Lucy, who owned the guinea pigs, who was like my brother's age, so she was 7, she came back to pick up the guinea pigs, walked through the guinea pig, and then got into the living room to find me playing with the dead one.
Okay, so never has someone embodied their character so much on here. Like, we introduced you as a weird kid from down the street, and you just told, like you're an imaginary child, but I want to call imaginary child services. Like, what are you kidding? We need to talk to your imaginary parents about this shit. Fucking hell.
That was definitely an imaginary thing that imaginarily happened.
Oh my fucking word.
I wanted to give myself a solid imaginary backstory.
Takes big sip of kombucha. Fucking hell. Sam, what are you doing, mate?
Is that a long neck of kombucha?
It's a long neck of kombucha.
You fucking... Oh my God. Jesus.
You know what? Can't stay down there. Stay at your end of the street. I don't want you at the party anymore. Hey, fuck off from my Freddy cake.
Hey, the only thing that this podcast doing it stopped me doing was going to the bottle-o and getting myself some actual fucking beer. So
Well, that's fair enough. I apologise.
Bullshit. It's interrupting you from pulling the wings off flies, you weird little cunt. You'd be out the back at the creek trying to fucking burn guppies with a magnifying glass. You fucking weird little turd.
Do you know what I got? Do you know what I got my family for Christmas? My brother and my stepdad. I got them both like slingshots, the kind that are illegal in New South Wales, the proper slingshots. And I'm like, we're going to have a great fucking Christmas. And then my brother messages me and he goes, guess what I just got everyone? So when you come up here, I got us 3 gel blasters and 30,000 rounds. And I'm like, it's so good to be home. I'm so excited to come home. Why crazy.
Everyone get weapons. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry. Do you think Pete was wrong when it's the weird kid up the street?
A little fucking clan of Bart Simpsons to go home to in fucking Queensland.
Fucking everyone just eye-carumbering around the place, eating shorts, all that shit.
All doing the Bartman on New Year's Eve. Love to see it.
Our family has a real strong could have created a Martin Bryan energy. That's sort of just what
great.
That's what we thrive off. That's the family. And I love it.
Well, look, now that we've talked about weapons and killing small animals, who's ready to get horny?
Yay!
Because I'm feeling horny. Sam, this has kind of been a question we've been asking guests that come on the podcast. Do you remember your first time encountering porn, whether it be digital or print?
Yes, I do.
What was it?
It was grade 6. A kid called Dylan Booth had shown me a picture on his phone. And it was an old Samsung flip phone with the big screen, and it was a woman eating out another woman, and there was like 3 pictures in this sequence, and I couldn't get my head around it. Like, I couldn't understand that. Is that what a vagina looks like? Because that looks like a mess, and it was so distorted and weird in my head. And then I remember he was like, here, take it to the bathroom. And I didn't know what he meant by that because we were around at his house. And so I just sat taking a shit looking at it.
But with a stiffy, so just pissing straight up into the air.
Well, no, I distinctly remember not being able to get hard because I felt very aroused, but we were also a very religious family and it felt intrinsically wrong. And my brain couldn't put all the pieces together. That's what I distinctly remember. It was like this weird mosaic of stuff I know I shouldn't be looking at. And it was, and I reckon that was one of the reasons why I'm half gay. Because I was like, I saw a vagina too early.
I like that you say half gay, like the half gay or half straight is the glass half full or glass half empty of sexuality. I'm feeling half gay today. Some days I'm half straight.
Some days I'm half straight. Some days I'm half gay. Some days I'm full gay. Some days I'm full straight.
So did you like going into the bathroom? Did you think doing your shit was like a non-negotiable?
Well, no, I needed to go anyway, and I thought it was weird he knew that. But because Dylan was one of those kids that was like, he was really tiny, he was really skinny, and he had a real sort of goblin energy to him, but he was the fucking horny kid in our grade. And he was the one that was like, bloody tits and boobs and and we're all like, something's wrong with that kid.
There's always the one kid who goes, like, do you know what a 69er is? The one who's like, who finds out he's patient zero of 69ing, and he's just like, right, it is my duty to tell all the kids this, PE class, whisper it into their ear. I remember very vividly going up to a kid called Hamish in like grade 5. I was like, do you want to know what a rim job is? Like, doing T-ball at PE. Like, you gotta spread the word, buddy. Once you know, it's your duty.
You won't believe what I've found out here.
These kids always like level up in what they're seeing so fast as well. Like, before I'd even seen a naked tit, I remember seeing the first thing was like an orgy on a playground on a kid's phone, like that.
Oh,
it was just showing this video of like this mass orgy in the sand, like on the slides. Like, that's before I was like, whoa, what the fuck's going on there?
Dude, I'm on the playground. I've just had lunch, and now you're showing me this wonderful, amazing image that's going to change my life.
You can't go... It's like skiing. You can't go double black run on the first. Double black diamond, you need to work your way up to that. Do you know what I mean?
Jake, that is the nichest fucking reference.
Well, what can I say? What can I say?
You're in a state that has 42-degree summers, and you're like, you know when you go skiing?
And from a very poor family. I know for a fact he's never done that himself. There's no way. There's no way he's ever been to the fucking snow. There's no chance. He's
Once. And it's only because my sister was a ski instructor and she'd get me in for free. Anyways, but here we are. Now, speaking of things that make me horny, this is a very interesting article here that I'm very excited to unpack. Sam, we're not able to read any of the articles before we do this. We can skim, so I can kind of skim, right? But I've looked at the pictures here, and what this is it's a section that I think is a weekly one. This is only our second magazine of 3, so I'm kind of guessing at what a weekly features. But this one is called Readers' Fantasies. Okay, and here's the instruction, I guess. It says, "We want your fantasies. Think them up, write them down, and send them to Readers' Fantasies at the Picture, GPO Box 5201, Sydney, New South Wales. And for your top efforts, we'll pay $50 for a published fantasy, $100 to blokes whose fantasies we photograph with models, or $300 to Sheilas we photograph in their favourite fantasy gear." Okay, now that has changed from last time. Last time it was essentially you get your money based on how good your story is and how much editing they need to do.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's horse shit. There's no, like, the people that are reading this magazine could not construct anything more than, like, you know, a couple of sentences on the fantasy. And then
for context as well, the last one, it was a reader's fantasy, and his fantasy was he's in the indoor cricket centre and he's locked in the toilets and there's a game of nude indoor cricket going on outside and he has to fart the door open so he can go and watch the chicks. that was his...
Wow.
That was his story because
dead serious.
Locked in the bathroom.
So
That
it's
is-
like... Yeah.
Oh, man. That is someone that's just like, well, I love being horny and I also love the ashes. And what would be my ideal Boxing Day test scenario?
The gashes.
The gas.
So
gashes.
the last time it was all full of cricket innuendos. Oh, my middle stump starts throbbing as I've, see the busty Sheila out at long on, and then I start tugging my blood. All this shit. A couple of googlies. And now this one here today, it's titled Body Slammers. And it's got a bunch of Sheilas here, and they're in like 80s, 90s style, for the most part, leotards, and they're in a fake wrestling ring. So I think this one is going to be about wrestling.
Holy moly.
I'll tell you what just fucking cracked me up so hard. I just noticed it.
I know. I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is.
The first picture, the chick in yellow, her lycra top just says sport.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Big fan.
Also, like, when you go... And also, I know this is an audio medium, but also in the bottom right-hand corner where they're all absolutely naked jumping up, they've all got, like, mostly regular titties, except for the second from the right, who has definitely got those implants from, like, Thailand, and she got them on a 2-for-1 deal. And they look like tits that I would have drawn in grade 6 with Dylan Booth. Like they are. Oh man, that poor girl.
By the way, what's with the one on the far right here who's just kind of vibing a little bit? Like,
Oh yeah, she just looks like she's dancing.
Yeah. There's not a jump. She hasn't.
She
even
looks
left
like
the
she's
ground.
crimping.
So here we're gonna take some turns reading this out, guys, and stop at any point if we have any questions, because I have a feeling that it's not going to make sense. I don't want to speak too early on this one, but I think Well, actually, let's just dive right in.
Yeah,
okay.
go.
It says, I'm at a nightclub where they have women's wrestling, one of my favourite sports. Now, this particular night, there is a special bout, a grudge match with a sexy climax, and a victory ceremony where the loser's cozzy comes off.
Cozzy?
Costume.
Oh.
Now, into the ring steps a tall, solidly built woman with black lipstick, black eyeshadow, black stockings, and black high heels. She is introduced as the Black Widow. Now, the widow's specialty, the announcer says, is constricting her opponents in a crunching bear hug before stripping them totally nude in the middle of the ring and then carrying them off to her parlour. And they put dressing room there, because obviously no one knows what a parlour is. Now it says, once there, the widow goes down on a hapless victim for hours, often so hard the victim gets temporarily paralysed, from the waist down. What do we think about that there? Have you ever seen that move done?
Have I ever seen it, mate?
Yeah, you know when you're eating someone out so good that you give them paralysis,
Yeah.
and then you've got to go to a chemist and buy a wheelchair.
That's what happened to Superman.
Yeah,
Someone just kept on
the
growling
horse
him out.
was eating him out so
All right, there we go. See you later. But like, as a method to win, like, wouldn't you just pin him on the ground or like a submission hold? Be like, you know what? I'm going to drag you back to my bala and I'm going to go down you for hours until you can't walk. And then is the ref in there?
Yeah,
Like,
he's just in the corner in his Foot Locker outfit, just casually stroking. This is while this woman gets sexually assaulted.
I also think from a marketing perspective, I don't think Vince McMahon would be thrilled about this because I don't think there'd be cameras in the dressing room that you wouldn't see any of this. There'd just be like a 3-hour break in the action from the broadcast.
Yeah, there'd be everyone. Yeah, you'd see Vince McMahon talking to whatever wrestlers on stage, just going just stretch
Yeah,
for
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Just
Pad.
fill it with like, do that thing where you say you're good and your opponent sucks for 3.5 hours. Jesus, when is this bitch gonna come? Holy shit!
Oi, Elizabeth with the big fake tits, call out Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio comes out in a wheelchair. It's like, I lost the first round. I got sucked off to the point where I'm a quadriplegic.
Yeah, forget Rey Mysterio 619. Now it's just 6'9". All right. So, the atmosphere is electric as the Black Widow's opponents climb into the ring. Now, they're two spunky brunettes in figure-hugging bikinis. Now, one of them's called Jill. Sorry. The Black Widow versus Jill.
Jill.
Now, one's called Jill, who has big, bouncy breasts and exquisite buns. And her sister, Sue, is equally sexy as the longest legs I've ever seen, okay? They both wear really high heels.
I feel like the biggest timestamp on this article is the idea that there's sexy women called Sue and Jill. Sue and Jill sound like sweet old ladies that would actually get paralyzed by a Black Widow. She's like going through their basil plants and they didn't look where they put their hand and then take a little nip but they don't notice it for 20 minutes until they start spilling their tea.
That's the original thing that was written in. I reckon that one just goes, my Aunt Sue and Aunt Jill got paralyzed by a Black Widow, and the cunts of the picture magazine are like, right, we're going to have to fucking think it. We're going to have to get real elaborate here.
This was actually meant for Reader's Digest. They just had to start like, no, we got to work with this. Work with what we got.
All right. So, Peter, do you want to take it from there? So, they both wear really high heels. So, Sue and Jill getting in the ring with the Black Widow. Go on. I'm hard.
All right. The announcer tells the ecstatic audience that the Black Widow has offered a cash bonus of $3,000 if one of the women nominates herself for oral sex should the duo lose the bout. Sue agrees, publicly offering her pussy to the widow if they lose.
Wow.
Oh, what a turn. The crowd screams its delight and the fight begins. The heavy Black Widow lumbers around the ring trying to get a grip on the slim and sexy Sue.
Sorry, are you picturing what I'm the lumbering? All of a sudden got a little bit like less sexy. Like, it's just real heavy. Oh, go on, sorry. Fucking hell.
But Sue is too quick. She darts and dances and even manages to score a few hits on her fearsome opponent. Sue then lands a beaut body check and the big woman goes down. This is like with the cricket. It immediately goes like, it's like a sort of sexy fantasy and then they're like, nah, but for real. So she hits a body check, hits her up the guts, fucking wins her for a second, ref counts to 10.
Yeah, I'm now actually believing that this is one of his favorite sports.
Yeah,
But he's like,
for
no.
sure.
You've still got to appreciate the tenacity and the skill that is involved with nude pussy-eating women's wrestling. You've got to...
The crowd erupts. Sue dances around the ring, saluting her fans. Her big breasts bouncing up and down with excitement.
Go
But
on.
she gets so carried away that she completely forgets about her opponent, who starts to haul herself up from the canvas.
How fat has the big widow gotten? The Black Widow in this time. I was with you guys beforehand when you're like lumbering, and I'm like, yeah, she's probably exhausted from paralyzing that poor woman, and then like haul herself up, like she's.
What is... Well, hold on. How's she described again? Solidly built woman with black... Oh, okay. So she's big hooer. Big Sheila. Yeah? That's what we're getting
Yeah.
from this?
Are the photos supposed to represent the story itself? Is one of these clearly the Black Widow?
Well, wouldn't the Black Widow be the one with the black hair? But no, I don't think any of these are the black. Well, also, who's Sue and who's Jill? I think these are just models.
Yeah, these are just models.
This doesn't correspond at all.
I don't like that at all.
No, me neither.
We have to
I'm
picture
very
this Black
upset
Widow.
about that. Anyway, the Black Widow grabs Sue in a vice-like bear hug and starts to squeeze. And squeeze. And squeeze! Eventually, Sue's luscious legs give way and she slumps to the canvas. And she died. She died there. It's actually tragic when a fighter dies in the ring. I've added that bit, but I think it's important to acknowledge the dangers of the sport. And though it's beautiful and we all love it, it's still a dangerous thing that these women are doing. And
They're
we
very
respect
brave.
them. They're very brave. Sam, do you want to take it away from here?
Sure.
From Jill tries to save her partner.
Jill tries to save her partner and leaps into the ring, but the widow immediately throws her to the floor and pins her to the canvas. 1, 2, 3, the referee counts. Jill thrashes, but the widow's lock holds firm. 8, 9, 10! The crowd cheers as the Black Widow releases Jill and milks the applause.
Can I just say, when has the pin count ever been to 10?
Yeah, I thought it was just a 3.
1, and Jill's like, fuck no, give me 7 more seconds. I swear if I have 7 more seconds, I reckon I can get out of this, guys.
Oh, man. This gets weird. Okay, then with an evil...
Okay, wait. So far it's been, like, let's just quickly assess, it's not horny at all, right? We know that the Black Widow's punishment is she drags people back after, like, boa constricting them, goes down and paralyzes them, yeah?
Yeah.
So at this point, it's, and then it hasn't been really horny. It's about all this kind of action. All right, go on. Sorry, Sam. Just a recap.
Then, with an evil grin, she removes the still unconscious Sue's bikini and throws her nude body over her shoulder.
Oh.
Do you mind if I actually do that again? Hold on. Then, with an evil grin, she removes the still unconscious Sue's bikini and throws her nude body over her shoulder. Just feels like a Bill Cosby fantasy.
Oh my god.
Shit.
The widow's long tongue flicks out, leaving us in no doubt as to Sue's fate.
What?
Jill's bikini also comes off.
That's the best bit ever. Like, so the widow has gone and like, okay, beaten this woman unconscious. Now it's time to essentially remove her clothes, which is the scariest thing. And her partner stands there and goes, "Oh, I'm about to witness something horrible. I better get the kid off."
I better take my clothes off. Because that's
Yeah.
I feel like that's a very natural human response. I remember when I was 19, I saw a head-on collision on the M1, and I was like, "Well, I've got to take my pants off. This is what I do. I want help, but I'm not going to do anything weird. But I do have to take my pants off."
Yep, everyone knows. September 11th, 2001, the day New York got naked.
Fucking hell.
So her bikini's come off. Her
Yeah,
bikini's
yeah.
come off.
Right, Jill's
It's come
bikini's
off.
She
Go on.
stands there totally naked and watches as her sister is carried off to the parlour. Graham, Cranbourne, Victoria. Of course it's
Graham.
a fucking Graham.
Graham.
Graham, you saucy devil.
That is horrific. That's
Yeah.
a very horrific thing that he's written there.
It is.
I swear every third article it's like, I'm not going to say a letdown, but like, there's so much visual stimulus on this page. It's nude Sheila's in lycra and they're tugging at each other's titties and you're like, this
Yeah.
is going to be outrageous. And it's like, no, a man pretty borally describes a boxing wrestling event and he says pussy 2 times.
Also, to be fair, like, I'm not sure about you guys, but any sexual fantasy I have, I tend to be in it. Do you know what I mean? That tends to
That's
be
a great point.
That tends to be the cornerstone of my sexual fantasies, is that I am involved somehow.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, Graham is just in the crowd, not even in the parlor. He's just, I know what they're going to do. Ooh, cheeky.
That's so funny you say that, Sam, because my sexual fantasies also involve you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. I'll add you to the list. I'll involve you as well. We can do like a swap. I'll come on your podcast. You come on my podcast.
And it's always you just sipping a fucking long neck of kombucha as well.
Yeah.
Before all of a sudden enters the Black Widow.
My sexual fantasy is being on Shad and Pete Save the World, and someone asks, "I'm really horny, help!" And then I go, "That was me!" And then you all suck me off to completion.
That's pretty sick.
Anyways, should we describe the pictures of here? What's going on?
Does a bear want to describe the pictures? Yes, please.
I like this one up here where it says, great grappling gazongas. Check out the Butte body checks on these biffo babes. And they've got 3 women at once pile driving a Sheila.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like motioning to like eat her out. And then
she's got like her legs split and she's upside down, and then one of them's looking at it in amazement. The other 2 are just holding her legs, looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Like, is this what you wanted? Is this what you're looking for?
What is I don't mean to, like, it's such, how have bodies changed since the 90s? Like that figure, the one on the left there, with the black hair, like that, see the distinct lack of arse? Like, why is that specifically a 1994 kind of thing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but also, like, it's, to be fair, like, there's a distinct lack of neck as well. Like, she has, like, if you look at the lower picture as well and all the top ones, this woman has no neck.
True. That's why they put the bow tie on there. She's wearing the traditional bow tie featured in wrestling.
I think bodies have, like, super changed because everyone's diet's changed and everyone's lifestyle's changed. And that's why, that's like when you see like pictures of like Playboy or whatever from the 50s and the 60s, the women, they look so different. And also at the same time, no matter how, this is a bit different because it's the 90s, but the older you go through like the porn time machine, the more they're just standing there with everything out, just smiling, having a great time. They're like, this one, like Betty Page, I think is her name. She's like this iconic nude model from the 50s and 60s, and she was like the precursor to sort of the Marilyn Monroe type.
Oh, yeah.
And she's just, every image of her is just her with her gams out and just looking like it's the best thing that's ever happened today. She's so happy to be anywhere. And now they've all got to bite their lip and look mad, and they're all angry about something. Like, yeah, I'm fucking horny. What of it?
How about this one just next to that, where it's got the woman is twisting the neck of another woman, and she is doing a real face there. So someone's trying to wank to this, and she looks like she's got brain damage from this neck getting twisted, like proper cross-eyed, tongue out.
Yeah, she doesn't look healthy.
No.
I like in the bottom picture where it's the 2 ladies given muscles and the other ladies just laying sprawled out on the ground.
Yeah.
That despite their nudity, they're not grubs. They're going to hang up their clothes. They've put their toggies.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking mess. If we're going to put clam goo everywhere, I don't want to get it on my cozzy.
Oh, Peter, come on now.
As we've established, this is still a well-respected sport, and some rules need to be abided by. And that is that you hang up your fucking cozies. I also love how next to it there's just an ad for Grotron hydroponic terrariums. And it's a full, like it's a fridge. It's a fridge. And it's like, even back then, like if you were buying these magazines, you were probably also going to try and grow weed in your house in the 90s.
I like how even still they've gone, underneath the image of the fridge or whatever, it says, we supply all you need except the seed. Like, and then it says, reflower, rebud all year. Like, yeah, haven't even gone to hide it. Like, it's not for tomatoes, is it? You know.
No nonna is reading this going, oh, this would be a lovely way to make my gazpacho.
What are these? Oh, no, the Black Widow. She's got a jewel and sue again.
No. I do not buy this for the articles or the images, but only for the ads, because I need to make a good passata, you see. That is why. Papi.
There's also, I was just going to say here, a little bonus down here. There's a 3-panel cartoon down the bottom.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah. Peter, do you want to describe it or maybe read it out? It's called Between the Sheets.
Okay, Between the Sheets. So it's it's a lady, and would that be Hey Arnold hair?
Yep. Hey,
Yeah,
Arnold,
You know what I mean?
Hey Arnold
She's
tits.
got Hey
by the
Arnold
looks of it.
hair and Hey Arnold tits. Just, yeah, these little spaghetti noodle titties pointing in either direction. She's on the phone. And she's saying, yes, I'm wearing underwear, white with a little lace. Yes, the panties do hug my bottom. Yes, sometimes they ride up. That's the first panel. Second panel, same drawing. No, it doesn't turn me on when they do. Why are you starting to moan? And then she looks at the phone. What a strange survey. That was shit. That was so shit. I wish that wasn't in there. That was the shittest thing.
Yeah, that's a really bad cartoon.
Oh my God. That is nothing. This whole article has been so nothing.
There's nothing in it.
Is it Gary Larson? Gary Larson, the Far Side creator. He's got a lot to answer for. He's created some horrendous copycats.
What do you want to do, Pete? We're at 30. Do you want me to send you through another one?
What do I want to do?
Yeah.
Put a bullet in my fucking head by wasting my time on my birthday reading this shit. What a fucking waste of time. Why do we do this? Why do we have to subject brilliant people like the wonderful Sam Bowden, kombucha drinking wizard of comedy, sips while I'm fucking saying that, to this horse shit every fucking week? I turned a year older. I'm supposed to start being known for something, and I don't want it to be this.
Guys, you're missing a grand point here. I listened to the James McCann episode, and this episode opens with an ad for the Lexus Luxury Club. What are you talking about? You're turning this on your head. You're talking about smut, and there was a Lexus ad on the front of the podcast before it had even started. I'm not sure whether you guys, who you advertised through.
Yeah,
but you are
Acast.
yeah, you're fucking winning. What are you talking about? You get to look up porn. You get Lexus sponsoring you. They haven't read what this is about.
I would love to get into, like, if someone gets in touch with Acast and just, like, if someone sent this to Lexus, it's like, you're being topped and tailed on this episode. Like, could you imagine the Venn diagram that would be the two circles a kilometre apart between listeners of this podcast and cunts that own a Lexus? Are you fucking kidding me? They're not even in the same time zone, those fucking circles. They're that far apart. Jesus Christ.
I think you might be pulling people over from Lexus to listen to this. Because, it's still not Audi. It's still Lexus.
We'll get
Yeah.
there.
People
you got
jack
your new
off
car,
in a
you got your
Lexus.
little dopamine hit, and you're like, all right, where now?
All right. Well, Peter, did you have any parting words about that? You seemed very disappointed in that article. You thought that was going to be...
I'm fucking gutted, dude. I'm fucking gutted.
But it's your birthday, mate. You got to...
It's my last fucking birthday.
How old are you?
14, mate.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, I forgot.
We're children.
You're in the universe, you fucking idiot.
You're dumb. Fuck, you're so dumb.
Much
No,
like
shut up.
wrestling-
I am not. Well, you invited me to your house. Why are you making fun of me? I go back to I here with my Razor scooter and go back to my rat.
Mate, I was just going to say...
Where's the family cat?
Before I depart here, I just thought about something you said earlier there, Sam, when you're talking about the kid that showed you the nudes on the flip phone. His name was what? Dylan, right?
Dylan Booth, yeah.
Dylan. Now, was that a Motorola Razr?
I think so, from memory, yeah.
So I don't think I've told this on the podcast before, but I just remember the other day when someone was talking about the Razr, they used to have an ad for the Motorola Razr, right? And it was like in a Japanese high-rise apartment, right? And someone drops the Razr, right? The Motorola Razr phone, which was purported to be so thin. That's why they call it the Razr, so thin that it slices through the bottom of the apartment floor, and the ad is falling through the ceiling and then the floor in this high-rise apartment building. So you get a glimpse of like a family dinner, or like a guy doing karaoke by himself dressed as Elvis or some shit, and then like a couple having sex. Like it's really quick, like do it falls through, and then ends with like Motorola Razr, impossibly thin or some shit like that. I haven't seen it in fucking almost 20 years. So this kid Dylan at school got a Razr phone, and the seniors convinced him when we're waiting for the bus.
Oh, no.
They said, that you've seen the ad. He's like, yeah, he was in grade 8. We're like, if you throw it at the bus, it's so thin, it will pass through the window and you can just pick it up. you can pick it up when you get inside. And he fucking did it. And his phone smashed into pieces.
Oh, yeah, of course it did.
and it shattered the window of the bus. So then he was sat there, and the bus driver made him sit next to the thing with his fucking phone in pieces on his lap, next to this shattered Brisbane City Council bus window. And I tell you what, fucking hell, that was the best day ever. Since I unlocked that memory, like it was maybe 6 months ago, I thought about it. I was like, oh, holy shit, I think about that every day. When he just pegged that fucking thing, expecting to go all the way through, just fucking cracked window. Great.
Oh, great. What an idiot. What a fucking idiot. That's the kind of brain where if it was 1,000, 2,000 years ago, we would have just killed him. We would have just been like, yeah, I heard that wild boar, if you pat it on the head really nicely while making loud noises, it'll be your best friend. And he's like, okay. And then we're just like, oh man, thank God that guy doesn't breed. I bet he's happy now. He's got a job in IT.
Oh, probably owns a Lexus.
Yeah, he probably owns a Lexus. Probably listens to this podcast.
Bro, he is way better off than all of us. Are you fucking kidding? Assuming he never got into comedy means he's better off, no matter what he's doing. If he got into heroin but not comedy, still better off. Like,
hey, ¿por qué no los dos? We got some fucking legends in this business, which are fiends for heroin, who have my utmost professional respect. Not personal, obviously, but professional respect.
All right, boys. So we'll wrap it up.
Who could it be?
Oh, who could it be? Say the name. I'll definitely edit it out.
Big shout out to Mel Buttle once again, friend of the show.
Loves the smack. All right, Sam. So you're in Sydney right now. You're due to come back up into Brisbane. What do you got going on up here, brother?
Did you say Brisbane?
I did.
With
yeah,
a D
yeah.
at the end,
mate. I'm fucking. I've got a little. I don't know. I'm waiting the test results. We still don't know. I could be recording with COVID right now. I've had to turn my phone over. So if I got the message during this, it would fuck me. So go on. So you've come up to Brisbane. What are we doing?
Well, you lovely gang at Good Chat are hosting me. I think I'm emceeing on the 5th of Jan, which I'll definitely be up for. And I got Dandelion, my solo show, on the 13th of January. Tickets at Good Chat and whatnot. And I'll be promoting that once I'm definitely up and can confirm. And also, if you love this podcast, I got a beautiful podcast, which you're bound to love, which is The Boys Watch Charmed, which is a podcast about the TV show Charmed, which we follow easily plenty of crossover listeners with myself, Alex Milinkovic, and Will Gibb, two amazing comedians.
Who's your favourite Charms girl?
Okay, so it's definitely visually Alyssa Milano, because she's just such a babe. But as a character, it's fucking Piper, man. Voice of reason. Has an honest job. She's a chef. She's the middle ground. She's my favourite.
Who's the one that killed off? Prue?
Yeah, they killed off Prue.
Man, I had the biggest crush on Prue, though. That was my favourite one, because she's like that fucking... She's got that bad 90s bitch energy.
Yeah, she does have that bad 90s bitch energy, but we've been watching it so consistently. She's just such a fucking party pooper. Because this breaks it down really, really, really obviously, where Prue's like the cautious one, Piper's the voice of reason, and Phoebe, Alyssa Milano, is just the crazy, I don't have a job, I leech off everyone, but I'm hot so I get away with it witch. And it's just, you get sick of Prue. Phoebe's fucking chaos. Piper's the only fucking responsible goddamn voice of reason in the fucking household.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll watch
I like Ron.
Ron?
You like Ron?
Yeah, the lovable sidekick with red hair.
Fucking hell. Imagine that. Fuck me, dead Pete.
Jesus Christ.
Are you too young to remember Charmed when it was on telly?
I vaguely remember it, but I think it was just through a family member watching it,
mate,
while I was in the room.
It is, honestly, good gear. When I was young, looking at Prue was my favourite one, and that is, I reckon, the earliest I've pinpointed what my type would be later in life. Like, I reckon I clocked that at whatever, 11 years old. I'm like, yep, that's the one I'm sticking with forever. It's Prue Halliwell from Charmed.
Dude, it is the best, worst show. Like, it's... Because it's marketed for women, but they're like, hey, this is still 1997. We got to make them hot, and they got to have their tits out all the time. Because their boyfriend's going to want to watch it. And so it's fucking chaos. But yeah, we go episode by episode. I think we're up to episode 13 at this point of season 1. So Jump on that shit on all
And
the
there's
regular
are there
things.
heaps of seasons? Have you got heaps of?
Oh, dude, there's like fucking 15 seasons or some shit.
Great.
We got it forever. But more importantly, Dandelion, a good chat on the 13th of January.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. And Peter, what you got going on up there in Cairns, my friend?
Oh, mate, it's all smooth sailing up in Far North Queensland at the moment, tell you that much. Comedy is alive and well every Monday night at Laughing Heart Comedy. Get your tickets for every show in January if you could. No specific reason. Just go to every show in January if possible. And if you're in Brisbane, January 21st, Shad and Pete Save the World returns to Good Chat Comedy Club. And look, I'm not going to give away the guest list, but don't fucking miss it, you idiot. Is all I'm going to say. Don't miss it.
I'll get that one on sale today for you, my friend. Sorry about the delay.
Yeah, I didn't want to be a dick, but yeah, could you?
No, that's okay.
Fucking could you? You know?
Well, I'm inside for another 5 days minimum, so yeah, let's do it, baby.
Sweet.
Get some
And,
fucking admin
Also,
done.
feel free to start promoting Dandelion as well, Jake.
You know.
Is that on sale?
That is on sale. It's been on sale now for what, 2 weeks?
I'm going to wait till all you cunts are in my city before I start doing anything. I have been burned so hard. I'm going to wait till I get eyes on every fucking one of you until I fucking post anything. God, this year. All right,
Yeah,
well,
I'm in that COVID hotspot, baby.
Are you really?
Cairns.
What, up in Cairns?
No, that's the point. Put the fucking show on sale, you idiot.
all right, I'm going to do that right now. All right, well, thank you, Sam, for taking time to join us, mate. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, gang.
All right.
Thank you, mate.
Thanks
You're
for
the
listening.
best.
See you next
Right.
week. Bye.
See you, boys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.